2 days ago, I had this nice, simple life. And now it's a nightmare.
If travel is searching.
Crazy Crab in the house, and it's time to talk about the most anticipated movie of the year for me. Terminator Dark Fate just walked in the door. I just got back. I've been seeing the thumbnails and the comments and the tweets over the last week since the movie got released overseas, and it's not looking good. A lot of negativity. And I know negativity sells. I know negativity is how to get views and how to get subscribers. I'm not really worried about it. I'm not saying I don't want more views and subscribers, but let's just be honest. If you watch my channel, you know I pretty much talk about what I feel like talking about, and I really don't care what subscribers and what views come. If they don't come, they don't come. So that said, I'm going to be honest about this movie, and I have a lot of things that are positive to say, but yes, there is an overwhelming negative that has to be said, and I'm going to get to that. But before I do, I just got to let you know there may be some spoilers in this review. Probably will be spoilers. I'm not going to go and just spoil the hell out of the movie and go, scene by scene or anything like that. But there's going to be some spoilers. I'll just say that. So if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, you might want to click away. Okay, so that being said, the big deal about John Connor started a long time ago when there were plot leaks that it was just going to be CGI John Connor. I truly believe that. I had enough, reliable sources that I put out a video saying that people were like, "You're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. He's going to be back. Edward Furlong's going to be back." And then I started to believe it. Well, maybe he will be. There was some evidence that he might be. He's supposed to be there. Even James Cameron said, Eddie Furlong is back as John. And we're like, what? It was just so confusing. And I was like, I felt that it was going to be what it ended up being. So I was prepared for this. I was prepared for a CGI kid, and that was going to be it. And that's what it was. And that CGI kid, he gets killed at the beginning of the film, just like the plot leaks said he would. And he never showed up again. Never showed up as an adult John. There was no adult John, just a little CGI John. I don't even think he even spoke. And he gets killed off. Now, that scene where he gets killed was awesome and horrible at the same time. It was awesome. The CGI was amazing. I mean, I got chills when I saw Linda Hamilton, young Linda Hamilton, a Arnold Schwarzenegger from T2, the same Arnold Schwarzenegger there as the T-800, a different T-800 sent back to kill John, and he finally succeeds. He takes out John Connor. There's the kid John Connor. He looks the same. So just seeing everyone there, seeing that scene, I mean, it was breathtaking. It was mind-blowing, man. But what happened in the scene was sickening because it really happened. It wasn't a dream. It really happened. John Connor got killed. This is supposed to be the fucking canon now. This is supposed to be James Cameron approved. This is supposed to be the true sequel to T2. So you're telling me I'm supposed to watch Terminator 2 now? This is what James Cameron expects. We're supposed to watch T2 and see John Connor, the John Connor that we've come to know and love more than any other interpretation of the character. T2 John Connor, Edward Furlong, young kid. And we're supposed to watch that movie understanding that very shortly after this movie ends, we're talking a matter of months, or less, this dude's gonna be killed. He's gonna be dead. This John Connor that we know and love will not make it to adulthood. In fact, he's not even gonna make it very much longer after the end of this film. He's a dead man or a dead boy. Are you freaking kidding me? That's how you want us to look at T2 from now on, canon-wise. I don't effing think so. So, in other words, this movie, as many of the Terminator movies, I don't consider canon whatsoever. I'm watching this movie to have a good time, hopefully, and hopefully I enjoy it, and that's pretty much what happened. After that scene, I said to myself, okay, if somehow the adult John Connor comes back later and there's an explanation for what I just saw, that's going to be awesome. I hope it happens. But if not, I'm prepared for it. This is what I expected to happen. They're going to replace him with a girl because it's 2019. And hey, I'm just going to go along with the ride. Okay? That was my attitude. It's a lot easier to do that too because of the fact that John Connor has not always been respected. And that's one thing to keep in mind. This ain't the first time he's been disrespected. John Connor has been through the ringer, okay? A lot of people did not like the way Nick Stahl portrayed him in T3. And they thought he was just a drug addict, just a piece of crap. The guy just not the kind of sharp John Connor that we want. I didn't mind it because he said in the movie, like, look at me, I'm supposed to be the savior, look at me, I'm a mess. But by the end of that movie, he does become, we see that he is going to be the leader of the resistance, and it was an amazing final scene in that movie, T3. You got that. You got Terminator Salvation. Yeah, they got Christian Bale. Christian Bale's awesome. He did pretty good, but he wasn't even like the main character. The main character was Sam Worthington's, Marcus Wright. That was the main character. So he wasn't even the main character, and he's mostly remembered for his off-screen rant against the cinematographer than anything he did in the movie. When you think of John Connor, Christian Bale, Terminator Salvation, a lot of people say, oh yeah, remember when he flipped out on the guy? That's what we remember. We don't even, think, that's what we think about first. So that's not that's not good. And then in Genesis, what was that? He was a freaking villain. He was a Terminator. And Jason Clarke wasn't the best John Connor anyway, but that was... other than that opening scene in Genesis, I like that, the future scene, but the second half of that movie, John Connor, what was that? That was horrible disrespect. And I'm not saying that, 2-3 wrongs make a right, but let's not pretend that he's always been fully, respected. Not to mention he's been portrayed by a different actor in every freaking movie, which kind of takes away from the character. It's not like a Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. This is the man right here. I'm not trying to make apologies for this. I think it's messed up. I think it's messed up what they did to John Connor in this movie. I cannot believe that got approved. I understand it's 2019. You wanted to replace him with a girl. He come up with this idea, but I can't believe someone didn't say, dude, we cannot do this. Let's come up with a storyline with John Connor and let's make the movie that everybody's wanted, that Terminator fans have wanted. Let's not just rehash everything. Let's not go too far with it like Genesis. Let's come up with something awesome. Keep it relatively contained. Make it make some kind of sense. And let's make John Connor so we can see that future John Connor. Let's do it right this time. Let's do right by the fans where Salvation failed, where Genesis failed. Instead, they said, let's kill off John Connor as a kid and we'll replace him with this girl and then rehash the same story. And that's what it was. But all that said right there that I just said, all that stuff I just said, I thought the movie was good. Not maybe great, but gosh dang, man. Linda Hamilton was awesome. Arnold was awesome. Even Grace, the hybrid girl, she was awesome. I thought the villain was okay. I mean, he reminded me of the T2 villain. He would interact with, humans trying to gain their trust so he can get what he needs to get. I mean, a lot of that was really reminiscent of T2. Of course, a lot of it is reminiscent of T2 because they just pretty much copied T2. I get that. But still, when you're seeing it portrayed by a different actor, it was really awesome to see, and it was really fun. I really did enjoy the movie. It is an enjoyable movie. If you're not a Terminator fan at all, you've never seen him or barely seen him, I think you'll have a great time with it. If you are a Terminator fan, more than likely you will love it or you will effing hate it. More than likely. I'm a little different. As a Terminator fan, if I'm trying to call this canon, it's horrible. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable. But as somebody who kind of just figures, hey, the only thing that's canon is Terminator 1 and 2. After that, it's a bunch of fan fiction. When I think of it that way, I really had a good time with it. There's a lot of awesome lines, new lines in this movie. They didn't just they did say I'll be back, but other than that, they did have some originality in the script. The action is really cool. Look, Tim Miller is not a bad director. He knows what he's doing. But yeah, they went in there with the attitude is we need to replace the man, the white man, with the minority girl because it's 2019, and they did it. And she really didn't get much development, and we really don't care about Dani Ramos in this movie that much. They rushed her development. It was very awkward. It was very weird and unnatural the way that she was developed through this movie, or the way that they attempted to develop her, which they really didn't. She was, obviously tough and strong, and that was fine, but she was way too quick. She was giving out orders by the end of the movie, and like 2 or 3 days they were like, what is this? One day she's just a happy-go-lucky regular old girl. No, nothing special. Yeah, she was kind of tough. She was kind of strong, but you know what I mean. No training. She didn't know how to shoot a gun. She didn't know how to do anything. And then all these, hardcores. We got Sarah Connor, that hardened Sarah Connor's been chasing Terminators for years. We got a hybrid Terminator from the future. They're there. We got Arnold Schwarzenegger, a fucking T-800 is there. And Dani Ramos is the one who's, the strong one giving orders by the end. It's like, what? What is this? Who is this? Who is this? So the development of Danny Ramos was off. But all in all, beginning to end, this movie was okay. In fact, I'm going to say it was good. It's a good movie. It's a good movie if we ignore the insults. It's fun. It's action-packed. There are flaws, yes, but it stays entertaining. Stay engaged. I'm able to follow the story. It's a basic story. Yes, it's a ripoff. They should have tried to do something different, and you got to give Genesis credit for that. Genesis tried something different, it didn't work. Terminator 2 tried something different from Terminator 1, and it did work. Terminator 3 pretty much reused the Terminator 2 outline, changed a few things, and I thought it worked pretty well. This one, I thought it also worked okay, but would have worked so much better had you just not disrespected and just killed off a young John Connor, because now, by definition, I'm not going to consider this canon at all. I'm not going to consider this movie a true sequel to T2. My choice would be Terminator 3, The Rise of the Machines, over this all day, because I do not want John Connor, the kid that we grew to love in T2, dead a few weeks after the movie ends. That is mother effing acceptable. So, it's just two sides of a coin on this movie to me. On one side of the coin, it's a decent Terminator movie. It's a heck of a lot better than Salvation, and I'd say beginning to end, it's better than Genesis as a movie. But if we take into account what it's done to the franchise and how it's treated John Connor by just killing him off as a kid so you can replace him with a minority female, that is effed up. That is effed up, and it's hard to forgive. It really is hard to forgive. So where it's going to be ranked, I have to think about it. I have to think long and hard about it. Positive and negative, I guess. It's just down the middle with this one. Unlike Genesis, which the first half of the movie I loved, second half I hated, this one is more like one aspect of the movie I hate. But as a movie, sitting down as a Terminator fan just to watch something, just to watch another Terminator movie that's not official canon in my mind, I can deal with it. Unfortunately, it is supposed to be official canon because you got James Cameron involved. But to me, T1 and T2 are canon. If I got to add more, I'll throw T3 in there as well. Okay, that's fine. But that's it. Maybe Salvation 2. I can consider that canon. It's just not a very good movie. I just don't like it. But I can deal with that too. Those four. After that, Genesis, total fan fiction. This, total fan fiction. So thank you so much. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So y'all have a fantastic day, and talk to you guys later. Thank you.